entire global backdrop is there's a possibility of a recession in the US. Inflation is high. They've hiked up rates. And this July also, there's an expectation that they're gonna raise rates again. Please do note also, by the time I'm recording this, MACD is showing us a change in direction. However, it's still below the zero line cross, denoting that there isn't any bullish moves yet. And if you'll allow me to zoom in right here, you will see it that, okay, very clear that we've seen a bounce here at the 6150 mark. And while that was happening just a couple of days ago, it broke past the 20-day moving average. Hey guys, so in this video, let's talk about where the Philippine Stock Exchange Index is headed, what's its direction, and I hope that as I start talking about this helps you analyze the market in terms of technicals, in terms of charts, in terms of where it's headed based on price action. Because what's interesting about technicals is that it allows you to see the direction of the market without speculation, without guessing, without asking your friend, without listening to the noise. And for the past 15 years of me investing, somehow one of the best ways that I've actually seen, one of the more reliable ways, especially for retailers like us, that not a lot of retailers have connections, not a lot of retailers have actually the time to be able to sift through a lot of reports or sift through a lot of the noise out there also. But for technicals, it allows you to analyze companies, it allows you to analyze crypto, it allows you to analyze also indices at a very fast pace and a short amount of time, and it allows you to make trading decisions on a relatively fast pace as well. Now, I want to mention this, if you haven't been watching my videos over the past few days, I've been mentioning the entire global backdrop is there's a possibility of a recession in the US. Inflation is high. They've hiked up rates, and this July also, there's an expectation that they're gonna raise rates again. That being said, if they're gonna raise rates again, it's not as bullish for the market. We've also seen that translate in the US markets, how they have dropped. We've also seen that how it has translated in global markets, Asian markets, and the Philippine stock market not being spared as well. Please do note also, from an economic landscape in the Philippines, inflation is relatively higher, and we are at the point also where gas prices are also higher, and we're also at the point where the US dollar is high. So please do note this, that while we're analyzing the stock market from the lens of technical analysis, from a lens of direction, there are certain things that are happening in a macro level. High inflation, high US dollar, high gas rates could also set the tone on how investors may judge their decisions. But that being said, let's look at the charts right now, and comment below if you guys have questions. By the way, if you are asking for specific stocks, I made a video about that yesterday, talking about the top stocks that you guys requested. Just look at the video before this. It's quite evident that the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, regardless of what has happened over the past few months in the Philippines and outside the Philippines, factoring even the wars that have been going on outside, factoring what's happening in the backdrop in the US markets, factoring also that we are still maybe at the tail end of the pandemic, but we are still at a pandemic. The 6,153 support has held its ground. We have been sideways since maybe the fourth quarter of 2020, with the main underlying support at 6,153 and the main underlying resistance at the 7,505 level. So I highly suggest write this down, because these are important support and resistances to watch out for. So for the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, it's 6153 as a level of support that has been a multi-year support for the PSEI. It's strong, and if we hold that level, most likely we will just be moving sideways, or on a more optimistic scenario, it could possibly go higher. But if we do not hold on to the 6153 level, then there's a possibility, there's a narrative that we might be in for deeper corrections as well. So watch out for 6153. Second, 7505 resistance. This is what's pinning the market to just move sideways. We've tried to hit it, if you look at it here in the charts, end of December 2020, somewhere around the end of 2020. We've tried to do it again, end of 2021, and we tried to do it again at the start of 2022. So 3 times, multi-year, end of 2020, end of 2021, start of 2022, to no avail. So this is a multi-year resistance as well that is pinning the markets just to move sideways. So if you are a person that wants to trade it, so one narrative for you is buy 6153, take profit somewhere at the 7,505 mark, and that could give you a 22.9% upside. So people are asking, is it possible to trade the ETF? Is it possible to follow the Philippine Stock Exchange Index and trade mutual funds? You can follow it. Just look at the charts that are following the PSEI, and your main level is as close to 6153. That's the area of support. That's an area for buying. As close to 7,505. That's the resistance. Also, that's an area for selling as well. Please do note also, by the time I'm recording this, MACD is showing us a change in direction. However, it's still below the zero line cross, denoting that there isn't any bullish moves yet. And if you'll allow me to zoom in right here, you will see it that, okay, very, very clear that we've seen a bounce here at the 6150 mark. And while that was happening just a couple of days ago, it broke past the 20-day moving average, which is a short-term resistance, which if you rank it up against the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages, it's not really the strongest. But nonetheless, we already have at least 4 signals that's showing us that, okay, the 6150 level is really a level of support. Number 1, it bounced off the 6150 level. Number 2, it went above already the oversold level, at least for the RSI. Number 3, you can see it right here, MACD change in direction. And number 4, breakout from the 20-day moving average. Now, a couple of things to consider also is this. You have a resistance here at the 50-day moving average, which is at 6531. And that's why you saw it yesterday when it hit the 6531 mark, intraday it started to go down. People were thinking, why did it go down? And for us that study technicals, it's very, very clear here that the reason why it went down because it failed to break out from the 50-day moving average. Now, something to watch out for over the next few days. The 50-day moving average, failure to break that could just possibly see the market stay close to the 20-day moving average, which is 6293, or retrace back again to the 6150 mark. So those are the possible scenarios. Failure to break out from the 50-day moving average, possible retracement will be 6293 or 6150. But if it breaks out from the 50-day moving average, like what we can see right here, possible upside for it is it could attack the 100-day moving average, which is around 6833, or it could extend to the longer and stronger resistance, which is at the 7050 mark. So please do write those resistances down. 50-day moving average, which is very, very close to 6531, 100-day moving average, which is at 6833, the 100-day moving average, which is at 715, and the longer and stronger resistance, which is at the 7500 mark. So for those who attended my Stock Smart sessions, the seminars or the webinars, or even have read my books, I would always say this, that the more resistances it breaks, the more bullish the stock is. So right now we're at a point where it just broke just one, the 20-day moving average. For this to have legs, it's the 50, 100, and 200-day moving average that we are supposed to watch out for. However, I'll say this over and over, that we are in a textbook sideways market, that for those who were able to position at the 6150 mark, it's not wrong to take profits at the 7505 resistance level. Again, for those who were able to position at the 6150 level, it's not wrong to take profits at the 7505 mark. Now, if it breaks out from the 7505 mark, then I do believe it has bigger legs to actually move up. Then it has a chance also to go beyond already where it was prior to the pandemic. It has a chance already also to challenge 2019 highs. However, we're not at that level yet. That will take some time. But rest assured that should the breakout happen from the main resistance right now at the 7,500 mark, which is underpinning this entire sideways market, I'll keep you updated. But as of now, this is what we do know. We trade what we see, we trade what the charts are telling us, and it's staying above the 6150 level. It's breaking past the 20-day moving average. It bounced off the RSI oversold level. MACD showed us a change in direction, and it's moving across and bouncing off a sideways market. So that's where we are right now. Treat it in a way that if it's sideways, buy at support, sell at resistance, and just repeat. Because if it fails to break out the 7505 mark, there's a possibility that goes back to 6150, and if there's a possibility that goes back to 6150, you're not supposed to second guess yourself, because if you took profits at 7505, then you can always revisit, you can always go back at it when it goes back at the 6150 mark. So I hope you guys got a lot from this. If you want to learn more about technical analysis, 3 ways, hundreds of videos here on YouTube, all for free. If you want to learn via reading books, we have some books that are available in Shopee and Lazada. Links are in the description below. Or if you want to learn via seminars, I have a webinar that's on demand. You can watch it anytime over a specific duration. We have slides, we have scenarios, we have examples, we have principles, we have strategies, and we also have examples similar to this that's part of the webinar. Links are in the description below if you want to join it. And if you see value in this and you've stayed up until the end, I appreciate it if you can do a couple of things. Like this video, share this video to your friends, put a comment down below. And if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna answer them via video. Put them down below as well. I wanna hear your feedback if things like this are helping you. I guess that's it. This is Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.